Welcome, everyone. This is a mindful hour. This is pre-recorded content. My name is Kat Larsen, and this class is sponsored by the Cancer Resource Center of Western Maine. And I'd like to thank you for being here and taking the time out for yourself for 1 hour of self-care. MBSR simply is defined as mindfulness-based stress reduction. It's a form of meditation that encompasses different techniques, different tools to help bring the practitioner into balance, invite focus and awareness. MBSR was founded back in 1979 by mindfulness pioneer Dr. John Kabat-Zinn. The definition most popular and most recognized by practitioners of MBSR is a form of meditation, techniques, and practices that brings one into present day awareness, focus, also inviting forms of non-judgmental awareness and moving from places of shift that don't serve us, perhaps into states of well-being, balance, calm, and integration. So in today's practice, I'll be incorporating some breathwork techniques, which include energizing breathwork. I invite you during our time together to take any adaptations, any adjustments, variations that meet both your energy, your physical body, your composition. In last week's MBSR class, if you attended last week, I led calming, balancing breathwork practices. And today, breathwork is a tool, according to MBSR, one of their many tools to invite awareness, also perhaps to bring awareness into an object of focus, which could be breath itself, physical body, or other points within breath work. Before we begin, I like to lead a silent sitting. For the past 4 or 5 months or so in this class, A Mindful Hour, we've been inviting anywhere from 30 seconds to 4 minutes of a silent meditation to begin. A simple seat or connecting to a posture in meditation, you can either begin seated on a couch, a chair, a cushion, a bench, the floor, against a wall. You can also practice meditation in bed, lying down. For this class today, I'll be leading sitting up, and there are a couple of formal instructions for a neutral spine. If you are seated on a chair, I invite you to place your feet flat on the earth. They're parallel to each other. Rest your hands in your lap and root and ground through your feet. Lift the chest forward. Get long and tall all the way from your feet, your seat, to the crown of the head. This is called a neutral spine. If you need any adjustments right now, take those adjustments, and inviting the acronym from mindfulness in to our posture. This is a simple acronym. The word stop. S simply means stop and notice your structure, your physical body in its seat. T, take a breath in. Inhale and exhale. O, observe to what you need next. If you need to either move your body where it's comfortable for our sitting practice. And then P, proceed to what you need next. I'll be leading another breath. Inhale fully, inward and upward through the nose. Exhale down and out. And I invite you in our introductory sitting practice to Take an eye gaze that meets you today, either opened eyes, closed eyes, downward gaze, or soft gaze. I'll be ringing the bell of the singing bowl, which will begin our seated silent practice at the second bell. That'll be information to return to the screen where we can begin our time together in instruction. And welcome everyone. Let us begin. Invite a full breath in and exhale. In your own time, make your way back to the screen, back to the class, and welcome once again, depending upon when you're watching this. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Kat Larsen. I am a certified MBSR practitioner, about a 22-year meditator, and I do have to share with you my experience of mindfulness-based stress reduction. Being a longtime meditator, I was seeking, in addition to connecting to Buddhist practices, insight meditation practices, and other forms of meditation, I was seeking more for myself through a variety of offerings, both as a practitioner and also as a facilitator. In mindfulness-based stress reduction, there are many different forms, techniques, and tools of meditation. We utilize breath work. We also utilize opposites, bringing awareness to opposites, perhaps sadness, joy, finding the middle ground, creating shift from those habitual patterns, perhaps that don't serve us. A pure example of that is noticing if our emotions that we're reactionary in, finding a pause right in the middle, moving to spaces that we can respond in a balanced, perhaps mindful way. Also, MBSR utilizes movement. A big part of this class, a mindful hour, incorporates both seated practices and at times seated movement and standing movements. Today, I'll be introducing you to some energizing breathwork practices. Breath work in Sanskrit is defined as prana. So if you've ever heard the word prana, prana simply means breath, life force, vitality. When we connect to our own breath work, we're giving ourselves tools for the autonomic nervous system. When we're busy in our day, going about our schedules, whether we're working, taking care of others, we're retired, or just busy throughout our 24 hours, we're utilizing our sympathetic nervous system. And sometimes we're so busy, we don't have time to relax, re-nourish, reset, and reconnect with ourselves. When we give ourselves an opportunity, like right now in our hour together, or whatever time you have in your day, you're perhaps slowing down, inviting a mindful pause through breath work, through sitting, through focus and awareness to connect to that part of our being called parasympathetic nervous system. When we introduce breath work in our practice, then through extending through our exhalation, we're connecting through parasympathetic nervous system. We're slowing down internally. Thus, we're affecting all parts of our being, our energy, our mind, and our physical body. So through mindfulness, we're helping to, through our own safe container, those practices that meet us, we're bringing balance to both the physical body, the emotional body, and perhaps just introducing new ways of being, moving, and thinking in the world. I do want to mention that there can be contraindications for some breathwork practices. If any of the contraindications land for you, then simply take another breath work, sit out the breath work, and I'll also offer a different variation. I'll begin today with our simple breath work. So I invite you once again to find your seat. If you're practicing lying down, that's welcomed as well. In our breathwork practice, we simply begin bringing awareness perhaps to our navel where breath originates. Some of the science behind breath work is when we inhale, our diaphragm moves down, which is a muscle within our body, making space in our chest to receive more oxygen. I invite you right here to rest your hands in your lap. Take a full breath in and exhale out. I'll lead you in a 3-count breathwork practice, which connects to balance and slowly increases energy. Here we go. Inhale for your breath count of 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, breath originates from navel, climbs up to ribs, maybe reaches its highest point. Exhale 1, 2, 3. 4 more rounds. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Final round. Breathe in and up for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Now come back to your own natural rhythm of breath. That's called a yogic 3-part breath. What that does is we welcome breath moving in and up, creating space in the physical body. And as we exhale out, we're releasing, letting go in the emotional body. And when we repeat the rounds, again, we're adding life force, energy into the physical body. And as we exhale out, we're letting go. Yogic 3-part breath. If you're a beginning breathwork practitioner, you can take anywhere from 3 to 6 rounds. If you practice this breathwork before, anywhere from 6 to 12 rounds. Yogic 3-part breath. The next breathwork practice, it slowly builds energy. It's called a steer step breath. In Sanskrit traditional breathwork practice, it's called Anuloma and Viloma Krama. And I invite you either taking this breathwork practice either in a sitting or a lying down position. And we'll begin. Imagine taking little steps of breath through your nose as though you're climbing the mountain. It looks like this. And then a long, smooth exhale out. We'll repeat that again. Imagine as though you're climbing the mountain, taking little sips or steps up the mountain. And then slide down the mountain, exhale slowly out through the nostrils. Next time, take a smooth, long inhale through the nostrils up the mountain. And then little steps down. One more time, one smooth, long inhale through the nostrils. Then take little steps out the nostrils on the exhale. Imagine going down your mountain. Next round, take little steps up the mountain. And then on the exhale, little steps down your mountain on the exhalation. One more round again, little sips of air in and up your mountain. Then on the exhale, little sips out of air on the exhalation. Then our final round, take little steps in and up on the inhale. And then a slow, smooth exhale out. Then our final round again, little sips of air in and up. Maybe at the top of your inhale, see something beautiful at the top of your mountain, then a long, smooth exhale out. Come back to your own natural rhythm of breath. That was called steer step breaths, as we're utilizing a form of an inhalation, taking little sips of air in, alternating with a smooth breath out, climbing in again, a smooth breath up, and then little sips of air out, then taking little sips of air up, little sips of air down, and then the fourth round, we're taking little steps up of air and then a smooth ride down. This practice is known to build subtle energy. It also works on the form of noting the climbing, the lengthening of breath, both on the inhalation and the exhalation. It is considered mildly energizing breath work, and there are no contraindications in that breath. The only contraindication in that breathwork practice would be on the inhalation. If you pause at the top, noting that a sustaining or a pause of breath can be mildly energizing. If you'd like that, and there's no contraindication of high blood pressure or hypertension, you can invite a sustaining of breath at the top of breath. That's called steer step breath. Sanskrit, analoma and viloma krama breath, mildly energizing. So take a moment here just to observe for yourself how we've already done 3 breathwork practices. Our simple inhalation, followed by an exhalation. We then moved into between 4 to 6 rounds of a 3-count yogic breathwork practice where we inhaled for a count of 3, exhaled for a count of 3. In time, perhaps over 6 months of practice, you can increase the breath count to 4 on the inhale and exhale out for 4 as well. We then moved into our 3rd breathwork practice, steer step breath, where we take little sips of air in and then little sips out, alternating between little sips in and a smooth breath out, or a smooth breath in and little steps out. Our next practice today will be bellows breath. It's always done seated. Sanskrit, it's called Bhastrika. And this is an energizing breath work. There are contraindications. It's a forceful inhalation followed by a forceful exhalation. When we inhale through the nose, we're inhaling like this. If contraindications land for you of either hypertension or high blood pressure, be mindful of taking a gentler inhalation and a soft exhalation. There is a hand gesture. Make fists with the palms, draw the thumbs on the outside, bring the elbows in close. We'll all take a breath in together. Inhale and exhale. Let's begin. We'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead, spread the fingers. Exhale, make fists, lowering elbows down. Here we go, 1 breath per second. Bellows breath, energizing breath, always done seated. If the arm variations don't meet you, you can simply sit out and rest the arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Take a moment to sense the energy in the heartbeat. Notice any tingling, maybe left arm, maybe energy right arm. Notice the tingling in left palm and right palm. It is a clearing, energizing breath work. We'll take 1 more round. Feel free to sit out on the hand gesture. Taking the same hand gesture, another would be forward and back. I'll be leading that variation of the arms. Kindly make fists with the palms. The thumbs are on the outside. Draw the elbows in close. Invite a full breath in and exhale out and begin. Inhale, exhale. Spread the fingers on the inhale and then gather the fingers together on the exhalation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Again, sense. Notice perhaps if there was any fog in the mind, depending upon when you're practicing this. This breath work helps to lift the fog. Also, if you're practicing in the afternoon, It is stimulating and energizing, wonderful if you need a boost, a bit energizing before bed. So perhaps I should have given that notation at the beginning if you are practicing this in the evening as to any energizing practices. This breath work is wonderful. It's always done seated. You can begin, if you're a new practitioner of breath work, anywhere from 3 to 6 rounds. If you've practiced this before, you can do 3 rounds of 6 to 12, resting between each round, sensing, noticing any tingling in a positive sense of energy running through the physical body. Again, honoring you, that meets you in a safe way, practicing breath work to timing, pace, duration, and length as well. Our next breathwork practice is a favorite. It's called Breath of Joy. It can be seated or standing. It's a 3-part inhalation followed by a 1-part exhalation out through the mouth. It's also called conductor's breath. It utilizes arm stretching both in front of the chest first, arms to the side, then arms lift up fully, exhaling, lowering down in a forward bend or a squat, either exhaling with the sound of ha or lum for grounding. The contraindications for this breath work would obviously be any shoulder injury, being mindful of that. When we're coming down into an exhalation, being mindful of any back issues, lumbar issues, any disc issues or hip issues as well. Breath of Joy, conductor's breath. I'll be leading this in a seated position. So find your rooted, grounded feet on the earth, root and ground through your sit bones, and lift the crown high towards sky. We'll take a breath in together. Inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose, reach the arms out in front of the chest. Inhale, arms out to the side. Then inhale, arms up. Exhale, lum. It looks like this. Lum. 5 more. Lum. Arms forward, arms to the side, arms up. Exhale, lum. 3 more. Arms to the chest, arms out to the side, arms up overhead. Exhale, lum. 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 Last one. Lum. Rest the hands in the lap. Take a moment after any breathwork practice or movement to note the awareness. Notice energy perhaps running through the legs, your heartbeat, maybe tingling in the triceps, the biceps, the fingers as well. Inviting everyone here to take a full breath in all the way to the crown of the head, inviting the affirmation, I am. Exhaling to the feet here. 2 more times, a full breath in. Inhale all the way to the crown of the head, I am. Exhaling to the feet here, present, ready. Last time, a full breath in. All the way to the crown of the head. Exhale down to the feet, grounded, present, here. That is a standing or seated energizing breathwork practice, Breath of Joy. If you're a beginning breathwork practitioner, taking a few rounds, either 3 to 5 rounds, 4 to 6, you can even build up to 6 to 12 rounds. You can take any variation on the exhalation, simply an exhale out with no sound, or inviting the exhalation either ha or lum for grounding. It's a 3-part inhalation followed by a 1-part exhalation. Our next breath work practice today is going to be called power breath. Power breath invites a twist of the spine. It also invites a two-part inhalation followed by a two-part exhalation. I'll invite you, this can be done seated or standing. However, I'm leading from a seated position. Take your hands, simply place them on top of the elbows. Again, it's a two-part inhalation through the nose where we'll twist once to the right, inhale, twist once to the left, and we'll exhale out through the mouth with a sound of ha, ha. So it looks like this. Inhale, inhale, ha, 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 ha. Okay, so let's begin. It's called power breath, also called in Sanskrit power hara. Hara is another word for breath. It is an energizing practice. Any contraindications here would be being aware of how twisting poses land for you, being mindful again if you're working with any back issues, disc issues as well. Let's begin together. Take a full breath in, exhale out, and begin. Inhale to the right, inhale to the left, exhale to the left, ha, 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 ha. And it's your option how deep you want to twist and extend the arms out to you. So honoring your energy, what do you need? Do you need less energy? And again, being mindful if you're practicing this at night to be aware of this is energizing. Huh, huh, maybe taking only a couple of rounds slower. Huh, huh, 3 more rounds. Huh, huh, 2 more. Huh, huh, last one. Huh, huh. Come back to center, release the hands down. Notice, observe, witness for yourself the spreading, the space in the back body. Notice the energy, the pulse, your heartbeat. Notice maybe more space in front of the chest. That is an energizing breath work called power hara or power breath. Another breathwork practice that we're going to utilize is called pulling prana. Also, prana is known as breath. This can also be done standing or seated. It looks like this where we extend our arms up, we make fist, and then we pump, sustaining breath, pumping the arms behind us, a slight sustaining of breath, and then exhale, release. So there is a retention on breath, being mindful for the contraindications, which are hypertension, high blood pressure as well. Again, being mindful if any practitioner is pregnant, not to hold any breath work if that is one of your managing lifestyles right now, if you're pregnant, that not to hold any breath, allow and invite breath to move through you. Pulling prana again looks like this, where we extend the arms up on the inhale, exhale, slight sustaining of breath, pumping the arms back, sustaining, 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 and exhale, open arms, release them to the side. Your choice if you'd like to sustain breath as to what feels comfortable for you. When I'm leading this, I'm actually sustaining breath for about 4 to 6 counts. I've been practicing a while. For a beginner practitioner, maybe a sustaining of a breath for 1 to 2 seconds. So here we go, pulling breath. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, release down. And we'll begin now. Inhale up, sustain the breath, make fists, pump your fists, You can release the breath when it feels comfortable for you, or if you're continuing to sustain, and then exhale, release the palms down. Notice the pumping action, bringing energy to the body. Sustaining of a breath also spreads the energy in the body, bringing your focus, awareness, whenever you're sustaining a breath, to spread breath from left to right, up and down. That is called pulling prana. It is an energizing breath work. So how's everyone doing so far? We've done a lot of breath work. Who knew there were so many different breath works today? And again, the emphasis today is on what brings you into balance. And also if you need a little pick-me-up, either in your morning, afternoon, and again, if you're practicing any of these breath works, more of the true energizing breath works, only take a round or two. Being mindful, we really don't want to have energizing practices before we go to bed. The ideal time, according to yogic studies, is that years back, thousands of years back, when the yogic practitioners, the true yogis, the sadhus, the renunciates, the meditators utilize breath work in their practice. It was done right at the beginning of a new day, between 4 and 4:30 in the morning, done on an empty stomach as well. As more modern practitioners, we've incorporated breath work being done really anywhere that we need a breath break. A breath break could be simply one round of a breath, either to calm, to soothe, to balance. It could also be to release anger, frustration, any emotions that don't serve you well. The next breath work I'll lead into, it's a fun one called lion's breath, and it's simply a letting go breath. When we're talking about mindfulness-based stress reduction, there are practices that truly are new to us that perhaps help to move from a place of, if we're experiencing anger, frustration, any of those emotions, we can simply take a breath in, stick our tongue out with sound, letting go. And that connects to, when we extend on the exhalation, parasympathetic nervous system. And it also feels good for both body and mind. This is a fun breath. It's done to, again, express and release any tension, tightness in physical body, mind state. We can also utilize fingers like this. You can crouch your fingers. I'll demonstrate once. It's an inhale through the nose. Exhale, sticking tongue out. Feel free that if sound doesn't meet you, if hand gesture doesn't meet you, you can make this your own. I've also seen a quieting lion's breath, or a smaller lion's breath if you're initially coming to a breathwork practice, which may look like this. If you're with others and you can expel loudly through sound, perhaps a quieting exhalation out through the mouth might meet you, your circumstances, where you are better. I'll lead 4 to 6 rounds of a lion's breath. And again, it helps to release anything you want to let go in mind, emotional body, tightness, tension in physical body. It's fun as well. I'll be utilizing hand gesture. You can even stare at your nose cross-eyed. Make any fun gesture. It's a fun breath work too. Very popular with young people. Here we go. Take a full breath in. Stick your tongue out. Make sound if that meets you. Next round in. I'll take 2 more rounds. Feel free to sit out, observe, or join in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Stick the tongue out with sound or not. Return to your own natural rhythm of breath. Simply take a pause after a practice to notice how each practice lands for you. If there are any sensations in the physical body, perhaps a lift in the mind state. Breathwork is a tool to help still the mind. That's why it is part of a meditation practice, because we're giving techniques to bring focus awareness of the brain state, the intellect, to combat busy mind, to focus on the instructions, the actions, and the tools. Also, movement of how perhaps the physical body might receive the breath work, and also any feelings within the body as well. Always honoring how you feel in your breathwork practices. So just to review here, we've already probably moved close to 45, 50 minutes of practice. That's a lot of breath work. And again, breath work is defined as vitality, life force. Today's hour was focused on, at the beginning, a few calming breathwork techniques, slowly building energy, and then adding more energy into the breathwork practice. If you're new to breathwork, I invite you maybe to begin with 2 to 5 minutes a day on one of your favorite practices, and also noting for yourself, if you've attended last week, what some of the calming balancing practices are. Maybe starting with a simple inhale and exhale, moving to a few rounds of a 3-part breath, maybe to one energizing breath work, and then one soothing, calming breath work practice to end. That can be your 2 to 5 minute practice, or if you only have time in your day, one breath work practice. Again, breath work is a practice on its own. If you have a movement-based practice, and today in a mindful hour, we did incorporate movement through the arm gestures. Some of the practices that I mentioned can incorporate both the breath work in seated and standing. So again, you have differences in movement, momentum, pace, and timing. The practices today that we invited were a simple inhale, a breath in and up, that's called prana, a breath down and out, the exhalation is called apana. From that, we moved into yogic 3-part breath, also called Durga pranayama. From that breathwork practice, we moved into steer step breath, where we took little steps in on the inhale, little steps out on the exhalation, alternating smooth breath in, steps down on the exhalation, steps up on the inhale, smooth breath out. Steer step breath is also called analoma and viloma krama. From that point, we move to bellows breath. That breath is always done seated. That was this breath again. From that point, I believe we moved into breath of joy, also called conductor's breath. That can be standing or seated. From that point, we moved on to pulling prana breath work. And I think just before that was power hara. So pulling prana, breath of joy, and power hara can all be done standing. So to close out our practice, I'll move into our traditional balancing breath. There are no contraindications to this breath work. It's called alternate nostril. It's a life hack to bring calm and balance to the body. When we incorporate, if you practice this a while, moving from left to right side, through the inhale and the exhale, there could be a sustaining or pause of breath in the middle. A pause or a breath is called a kumbhaka, a retention of breath. And the pause or the hold, and we like to call that a pause or a sustaining more so than a hold. It can be any amount that meets you a second. It could be longer, 4 to 6 seconds. If you have practiced alternate nostril breath before, a breath retention is considered an advanced practice because you're sustaining breath, you're spreading breath from the left, right side of the body, maybe even from the front of the body to the back body. It's a very, very subtle spreading and awareness. When you invite a retention of breath, that is energizing. So that's why I'm leading it. Again, if you haven't practiced alternate nostril breath for at least 3 months, I invite you to observe the retention. If you feel that your physical body is ready for a breath hold, a very slight pause or breath hold, spread the breath or imagine just in your mind's eye the breath moving throughout the body and proceed to whichever side that I'll be leading on alternate nostril breath. So here we go, alternate nostril breath called Nadi Shodhana in Sanskrit. Nadi means energy channel. Shodhana means cleansing of the channels. So through the inhale and the exhale, we're cleansing the body internally. We're breathing in fresh oxygen, and on the exhale, we're releasing out any toxins, if you will. The only contraindication, again, would be hypertension, high blood pressure, if you're holding sustaining breath in the middle from side to side. We'll begin with traditional alternate nostril breath, which utilizes a hand gesture. You can lift your right hand, releasing the first 2 fingers down to the palm. Turn the hand towards you. Use your thumb to close off right nostril. Your gaze can be open, eyes soft or closed, or downward gaze. For instruction purposes, maybe today you like to watch me on the screen here. Inhale comfortably through your left nostril. Close left with pinky and ring finger if they both meet. Exhale right. Inhale comfortably through right nostril. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left, inviting a pause in the center. Spread the energy if this meets you. Exhale right. Inhale right. Pause or not with breath in the center. And then proceed to exhale left. Inhale left. Pause or not in the middle. Exhale right. Final round. Inhale right. Pause or not in the center. Exhale left. Release both hands down. Take a moment to notice if this breath work brought you inward. The benefits of this breath work are they promote focus of a busy mind because we're utilizing our hand gesture to quiet the busy mind from alternating breath from side to side, left and right hemisphere of the brain. When we connect to our own pace, timing, and rhythm, then there may be an invitation to ourselves to soften our eyes, close our eyes. A beginning practitioner of alternate nostril breath would begin anywhere from 4 to 6 rounds with someone that's been practicing 3 to 6 months of breath work, anywhere from 6 to 12 rounds. Sometimes with this breath work, if you've had soft eyes or closed eyes, you may not want to open up eyes. And again, when I'm citing any benefits of these practices, if your experience was different than what I'm sharing, honor your experience. Breathwork practice is considered a very deep practice, and inviting the concept of mindfulness-based stress reduction as moving through any practice with a friendly, non-judgmental attitude, welcoming any adjustment, any variation, in this case, pace, timing, in a breathwork practice. And if something certainly doesn't meet you that is not comfortable, displeasing, and anything triggering in not a positive way, you would simply tap the brakes, your feet 3 times, open the eyes, look around, ground in your environment. That concludes today our MBSR Mindful Hour, focusing today on energetic practices. We began with balancing breath, promoting building energy slowly, and then moving down the other side of the mountain, closing with balance and calm and alternate nostril breath. I invite you in these final moments of class. I'll be moving you through a life force yoga joyful meditation. You can simply receive this either sitting or lying down. Sit comfortably with your spine erect or lie down. Begin to notice your breath, first at your nostrils as it flows in and out. And then notice how the belly is receiving breath. Next, maybe noticing if breath is rising up through the chest and then falling on the exhalation. And next, imagine that you're inhaling all the way to the crown of your head. And then imagine you're exhaling all the way down to your feet. As you inhale to the crown of the head, say to yourself, I am. And as you exhale to your feet, say to yourself, here. Repeating that again, breathing in all the way to the crown of the head and saying to yourself, I am. And imagine exhaling all the way to the feet, saying to yourself, here. Repeat another breath in, all the way breathing up to the crown of the head, saying to yourself, I am. And exhaling to the feet, here. And even adding your intention if you had an intention for today. Maybe it could simply be being present. I'll lead the final round. Inhale all the way to the crown of the head. I am. Exhaling all the way down to the feet. Here and present. I invite you to join your palms to rest right in front of the heart center. We'll close our time together today in a mindful hour with the sound of peace, the word peace, one time out on the exhalation. A full breath in. Peace. Peace, peace, peace. We honor each other in community, connection, in mindfulness. Peace. Releasing the hands down. And thank you everyone for being with me today on this special pre-recorded session of a mindful hour, focusing today our practice of mindfulness, bringing awareness through breath work, prana. I'd like to thank the Cancer Resource Center of Western Maine for hosting this class, and I wish you a wonderful week. And I look forward to seeing you soon again. I'll be back live again for this class on September 22nd. Happy full moon, everyone. Weekend, if you're watching this past the full moon, I hope you had a wonderful weekend and have a good week. Thank you again. See you soon.